Good afternoon, everybody, man. Summer is heating up, and guess what we're doing? It's summer school time. So with
Heck
my
yeah.
buddy and tech guru, James. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Shark? How you doing?
Good, brother, man. Sounds like you got some noise in the background here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Sorry, I just realized I have to get the
You got a lot of
cleaning.
technology going on
Yeah,
around there, brother.
the cleaning ladies decided to start the vacuum at the absolute wrong time. I thought they were going to be done with that. Is it really bad?
Yeah, it's real bad. You want
Okay,
to tell
hold on
them
a
to hold
second.
it down?
Yeah.
All right, dude. That's what happens when we're live here, man. Summer school is now in session. This is awesome, man. So all summer long, we're gonna have tech gurus, recruiting, staffing gurus. So if you want anybody to come on to staff summer school, let us know, man. We're gonna have a blast with it. All right, James, are you back, bro?
I am sorry about that. Sorry for the disruption
Dude,
there.
you never sorry with a shark, man. It's all good, brother.
Yeah.
How are you doing, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm really excited to share what we've been working on, and but yeah, overall, I'm excited for the summer. I'm excited to learn some new things. There's a whole bunch of new things happening in the world, and staffing and recruiting and marketing and just everywhere. I mean, what isn't changing? So yeah, I'm excited
That's
to
right.
share what
School
we
is in
got.
session, man. We never stop studying, do we?
No, I mean, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? So
Dude, I love your
um,
hat, by the way.
yeah,
Built
thanks.
big.
Yeah. I was inspired by one of my mentors in the past that we acquire these skills so we can start building our assets. If not, you end up begging a lot. And I guess that's really um, what this is all from is really when I realized getting organic traffic really was something. If you haven't experienced it, then you haven't experienced it. When you have people calling in that want your product or service, that are intentionally, like, with intent, searching for you and want you, then they book on your calendar. The game changes, and so really that's what this whole thing's about. Really was because I've been a recruiter since 2009, and since then I learned SEO. And then we've grown a couple different agencies. Certainly, search engine optimization one. Proactive Healthcare Recruiters was my previous recruitment firm that we ranked number 2 in the country for healthcare recruiters. We then ended up selling it for 6 figures,
Nice.
just largely because I blew it up. Like, I did really good with the business development on the front end, um, but again, at the end, it's a big process. So since then, AI has come about, so there's all kinds of new technology there. Then there's a bunch of different applications for it that are just like allowing us to help just increase productivity for marketers and recruiting. Which it's interesting that I feel like there's a blind spot in there, so we'll get into that. But anyway, but yeah,
Brother, I'm excited you're on here, man. And you know, one thing about the staffing industry, I've been going to these conferences, sell, sell, sell. They can't, they're just cold calling still. And the old school stuff, man, you got the technology now to blow it up for staffing firms and recruiting firms. I'm pumped up about it, buddy.
yeah. I mean, it's really interesting that, like, I don't feel like it's going to replace those that decide that there's their power tools. Just like we got an air nailer. There's still a hammer on the shelf, right? I mean, there's still manual ways and there's automatic ways to do things. AI has come a long way in even a year and a half. There's now voice AI agents. There's ways that we can leverage, and they can be proactive, right? So they can actually do some of the sourcing. They can screen resumes. They can call these people and verify and book on the cancellations. There's all those types of things. And then everybody's the sky is falling with SEO, which good. I'm glad everybody believes that. It's wonderful. It's music to my ears. I keep believing it. It's changing, sure, but everybody's worried about AI taking over. Well, how are you going to influence AI if your website isn't authoritative enough
Exactly.
to influence it? So, and that's really what I see here is when I did rank proactive healthcare recruiters number 2 in the country and I was on it. Some of you may have heard before when I was doing that. Um, it was really just profound to just keep scheduling appointments on your calendar saying, I need your recruitment service. And I was charging them even engagement fees at times. So they were willing to pay those engagement fees. Why? Because they needed you. They were in pain, and you didn't have to prove to them who you were. And did this. I've done this. It's really about them. Hey, you got a candidate? Want a candidate? It wasn't even that. Now they're calling and saying, look, why are you in so much pain that you want to pay me 25% annual salary? And then I diagnose what the problem was, and I'd say, well, we're a little different because we have marketing, and we understand that, you know, I'll show this in a minute, but like the keyword search for any jobs near me, I don't care if it's engineering jobs near me, healthcare jobs near me. That's why Indeed's winning. Indeed, ZipRecruiter, all the job boards, the only ones ranking there. So, like, if you're a recruiter and you want to rank for, I don't know, welding jobs near me, it's 40,500 searches a month with zero competition.
Wow.
So, if you have just a little bit of SEO knowledge, you can actually start taking it over. And that you don't need to take over. How many of those do you actually want to get? And again, that's just one example. I don't care. Pick restaurant jobs, mental health jobs. It doesn't matter what kind of jobs. Most people and even SEOs aren't even looking at that. In fact, when I was doing a lot of healthcare recruitment, most of the companies don't even have an applicant tracking system. They have like a form, but they don't even have an ATS. It's like what, $300 to $500 fix to put a job board on the front end of your
Exactly.
website. So that it's just a landing page for jobs versus like a landing page for leads and for your service. So it's the same thing. It's similar. It's not the exact same, but there's like a big disconnect. Most recruiters don't even. I've been in very high end masterminds that they're not even talking about SEO. In fact, they laughed about it while I'm making upfront money. They're saying my website's so bad because, again, I agree. The old school way were working. We now have all these updates to our cell phones. How are we going to attract the traffic and influence? Apple just announced they're putting all this AI in your phone. You're going to have to influence the AI bot, not necessarily the person, because the AI bot will start giving the person its relevant information if the person wants it. It'll start learning them. So as you understand as a recruiter, how are you going to interact with them and candidates? So these are things that I like to dive into deep and get traffic and just come up with solutions for. What were you going to say, Shark?
Oh, nothing, brother. You ready to deep dive into this, man? Because I got to tell you right now, on the staffing side, the websites are flashy. And I'm going to tell you, James, just talking to you over the last couple of weeks, the SEO, I know they're not getting the full force out of what they need to from their website.
I'm certain they're not. That's one of the reasons as an SEO when I found out that recruiting was like this. So why would I go and rank against all the world's best SEOs that know how to do SEO when I can just fight against a bunch of people that don't know how to fight the fight?
Exactly. And you know what? Like you said, Megan's got a shout out right here quick. Yeah. How many companies don't have an ATS? I mean,
and guys, most of you don't realize that's reoccurring revenue for most recruiters. Like we could just get one. Like there's plenty of them you can white label as your own or just get an affiliate commission. And then now I would recommend white labeling it. That way you have a little bit more control if you can.
Yeah.
But even affiliate commission, like, if you're not doing staffing, you're doing executive searches or what I mainly did, or like just recruiting, which is feast and famine most of the time. This is how I beat that over time with just having organic traffic. And when I really needed to kick it up a notch, I just put $500 on Google, and that turned into $5,000 in upfront fees and things, just because, again, you are the authority. And when people wouldn't ask you who you were, they're just like, you're on my calendar. Like, what do you want? I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say that naturally, but that, like, you're on my calendar. You know I'm the pro. That's why you're on my calendar. I'm not on your calendar. So, and I'm not interrupting them when they're doing something. So, I mean, I've been there. And honestly, that's important while you're building it up, because when I do get these leads that start coming into your door, you need to know how to act. You need to know, like, oh, this is designed to work. But, like, I even got it where I was like, it actually worked. And then, of course, it's deer in the headlight. And you try to figure, okay, now what do I say? Well, again, all the old school stuff we've all learned this is about getting on the phone more. But now that we have AI and these new and traffic has been here, now it's about getting more qualified people on your calendar so that you can enjoy more of your life.
That's
you're still going to close a deal.
You know what? You want more of a life. You want to enjoy life. But at the end of the day, you don't have to chase the client anymore. The client can chase you if you build a brand, like you said.
Well, and building a brand, and like with SEO, the things that people don't realize, I feel like with SEO, yeah, AI can write it, but you still need the keys to be able to post on a third party's website that's going to give you the authority to be able to be seen on Google. So now, AI can't do that.
Real quick, do you think staffing and recruiting firms know this? I mean,
I think some of them do, but majority of them do not.
No, most of them are just buying tech stack and trying to get referrals and all that stuff. I mean, On my end,
Most of them are
talking to
still trying to
you.
figure out what applicant tracking system they're going to use and switch it. Like I've done it, Bullhorn, the Loxo, the freaking, you can go on the recruiter flow to whatever. That is like, that's just a tool. Like what type of hammer do you want?
Well,
Like
they
it's
blame
all
the
about the
ATS a
strategy.
lot, that the ATS doesn't do what they need it to do. And
No.
you're right.
Um,
ATS is out there. We're giving them a shout out. You know what? They do what they got to do.
No, for sure. I mean, they're just a tool, and you have to decide what type of tool you like.
Mhm.
With traffic, with Google traffic, it is just a type of traffic, but it has lots of intention in it. So when they call you, it's they're ready. I mean, if they call you on your calendar, it's how can I help you, and you're deciding if you want to work with this person. You're not begging, hoping that you get your check this week. You have a lineup of these folks. Um, Again, you have to know your niche and know that which ones you want. I mean, I was doing it in healthcare, so we'd get in it's during COVID and things, so that was easy to get calls. But I've
Okay.
helped people in the financial sector. We had a client just call recently and said he got some really great jobs he would have never seen. I have my largest fee was like 60 grand. I came off a CEO that came in from a Google search, 12 minute phone call. 3 weeks later, total of $58,000. He called. He
No
did. I didn't have
brainer.
to say like I already had authority. He's on my calendar. I didn't have to like justify who I was, and like I just stipulated what I wanted. And
Yeah.
now he chose us because I picked an engagement fee over a retainer. Again, that's just flavor. What do you like? But at the end of the day, you get more offers made if you have more traffic coming to your website. Feel like it's grossly overlooked. Most recruiters just want to get something up as like it's a pamphlet instead of
Hmm.
like think about it as your actual sales person. A sales employee is going to make more offers for you. The more it's seen, the more offers are being made. So the two websites, and I can share these real quick, and I know I can share a lot more. I can show you how to follow me and stuff like that if you're interested in hearing more, because we'll dive deeper. But the site that I ended up ranking really well was Proactive Healthcare Recruiters. That was it there. It's been resold. I'm not sure even who owns it anymore.
Hold on, brother.
But
You got to share this. Hold on one second, man. I want this to share for the
oh, I thought it
audience.
was sharing. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it
thought it was
wasn't.
sharing. Okay, my bad. Let me share that for you. All right. So stop sharing that. Oh,
There
here it
we
is.
go.
Yeah. So that site is the one I ended up selling off. And it's funny that the company that bought it from me called me to help them recruit nurses for a staffing company. And then I sold him an SEO package. And I'm like, why don't you just buy my site? And he's like, yeah, why not? So anyway, that's how that all happened. Um, and it was, I sold it for 6 figures. But since then, I've gone ahead and started Engaged Headhunters. I do have a way I like naming my websites, name plus keyword. One of the biggest things you can save some money on is naming your website correctly. Um, Brand plus keyword is so huge. I mean, I know sometimes the URL, like Engage Headhunters, admittedly a little long. Proactive Healthcare Recruiters is kind of long, but you know what it's about, right? And so does Google. And that's the most important thing with Google is like letting them know that, if I call them and say, this is James with Engage Headhunters, they know how to spell it. I don't have to sit there and spell it all for them. It's very clear. So it's just one of the things I found, like, to rank easier. Just make sure you have brand plus your keyword. Yeah, you can do it without. It's just going to cost you more money.
Okay,
So
James, I got to ask you, brother. So a lot of staffing firms like to use their name. I mean, is that a no-no? What do you think? I mean, like James and James Personnel
yeah,
Services.
I don't recommend it at all. I mean, again, it can work. If you say James and James Personnel Services, I think that's fine. I mean, just know that, there's lots of companies with their last name. That's not the important part for SEO purposes. For instance, like Engaged Headhunters, the reason I named it that was because, like, who doesn't want their headhunter to be engaged, right?
Perfect.
So you're like, I want my headhunter engaged in the market. So I thought, okay, Proactive Healthcare Recruiters. I figured that with Proactive Healthcare Recruiters, proactive means something different for a healthcare provider.
Gotcha.
So Proactive Healthcare Recruiters, they know what I do. When I say I'm a recruiter with James with what's that? It's all clear. And it all matters because clarity is what Google's going to reward because they can trust it. The more
Hmm.
they trust it, the more they'll show you, especially when you start getting votes from third parties that say, oh, these are a great healthcare recruiter, or your client starts mentioning you on their blog saying, hey, they did a great job. Most people don't even think to ask for their client to put a link to their website. And that alone could help you just get that much more business because of the authority um, that is. Just like me coming on your show here today, Shark. I mean, it's like they know you, they trust you a bit. They say, "Who's this guy?" Well, you've talked to me, you've seen with some of the stuff, so you invited me on your show. So there's a little bit of credibility and things built into that. Same
A
thing's
little
going
bit,
on with
man.
Google. And
100% with me, credibility, man. I keep it real.
all right, okay, I love it. Great, I love it. So, like, but the same point here, and that's what Google's looking for. Like, what sites are recommending you that are relevant? Not spammy ones, not junk. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff out there. What do you mean? It's just not relevant. If it's not relevant, proximity and what you do, and it's not coming from things of authority, or there's no traffic coming to and from it. No one thinks it's important. That doesn't matter, and that's why links cost a lot. They're not cheap. I mean, those are the votes when you talk about third party. If you're going to go get them, they can be expensive. If you don't know how to go get them, just like anything, it can cost what it costs. But
Good stuff.
ultimately, these are the two sites I'm building out. AI is very much a part of our booking system that helped us. So that way, when people would book in, it would keep reminding them. I had very low no show rates. This is like Calendly on steroids. For those wondering, yes, I use Go High Level quite a bit. It's not the only tool. Again, it's just a tool in the shed. There's plenty of tools that do something similar. I find it hard to. We got all your proposals in there. Go High Level is very hard to beat. So if you're interested in those things as it pertains to a staffing and recruiting agency, um, you know, follow us and we'll be launching our portal so you can jump in there and join our free community. So that as we put this stuff out, I'm going to show people more and more about how we're using Go High Level, how we're using Voice AI, and then. But ultimately, it's about going faster, guys. That's really it. We can sit here and learn all day, but we got to earn with these tools fast because AI is just it's really about this brain shift to realize it's all at your fingertips, like right now. How
Dude,
do
it's
we
coming
use
so
it?
fast, man. It's out of control. I got to ask you about voice AI real quick. Give a little bit of
Yeah.
take on the voice AI, man.
So look, I don't like it for cold calls, and I would not personally deploy it. You're going to get in trouble eventually, just like cold emails and things. There's a protocol, right? But if you're doing like screening resumes that came in from a job board and you want them to have a better user experience, I mean, would it be horrible if you had a voice AI pick it up and say, "Hey, we just received your resume. I had a couple questions so I can get you qualified for the interview with the Shark." And now it streamlines it. They get a better experience. If they don't qualify, we can let them off easy instead of ghosting them, which we all know no recruiter on this thing would ever ghost a candidate or a client. But we wouldn't
Never.
go. Recruiters never do that, right? I mean, never. But now
Yeah.
your AI,
Come on,
your
man.
AI can.
80% does.
I know, I know, I know. So that's my point. Like a lot of these things we can outsource. It's not going to get rid of you per se. Um, there's still going to be a level of, at least for a while, there's going to be a level of like, how do I leverage this just to 10x what I am? And one thing about, um, I think the staffing and recruiting agencies that a lot of them are mom and pop organizations that maybe we don't want to really hire a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And so, recently, just some of the other things outside of just the tech is things like, I found Brian Lamus in Working Genius and Shark. I think you're going to talk about him before long, but that guy's helped like me understand what virtual assistants I might want to hire, what sourcers I might want to
Oh, man.
hire. That way I don't get the wrong one and it'd be a waste of time and money. But these are all things that we're building into AI. These are all things that we're working on in our agencies to be more player coaches because I've heard it and if we're going to do it, I've done it. Had a recruiting agency. I owned an SEO agency. Um, so like I've done it both. So I've heard like let's have a player coach. No gurus here. We just do what we're doing.
So I got to ask you real quick about voice AI. Back to that, like sourcing. I know a lot of companies now are tapping into voice AI just to source their database of 6,000 candidates. What's your take on
Well, if you
that?
yeah, I think it's great. I mean, here's the thing: no one's doing it. Most humans won't do it because it's cold. There's been countless deals. AI is not going to get tired. There, I think you have to like, what would you want someone calling you with? Like, if it's going to be a value, great. If it's thought out, if strategic,
Mm-hmm.
great. Like, I think the more you care, the more you're going to get out of it. I think that'll be translated in how you even message the person. If you're just trying to just be a paper mill and just skim off the top, sure, you might win a little bit. But I think the bar is just going to go up. Like, because we can do more means, we're going to get done more and at higher quality, right? So we're expecting it to be another. If we're going to be that easy, then it should be a little bit better. And the reason I even mentioned like Brian and these different things is just because they all mesh together. You have automation delegation in this agency. A lot more automation's coming. You can predict that more than people. But when you do not have like, I mean, again, we all gonna want teams. We all love people, and you're gonna love your bot. I mean, you might. I mean, we're not in that business. That's not this call. But it's changing. Everything's changing. So how we interact, and even the scarcity of talent. How do we leverage them further? Right? Even on our own teams, not even necessarily our clients, but like even building the content for our website, even getting the social posts out, building the video. We all know it's important, but there's a lot of little tasks that comes into it. And that's where these systems come in with AI and traffic, and that's where I'm going with this thing with engaged headhunters going forward. Just helping them go faster by helping them book out their calendars faster with qualified clients first, and then candidates. Um, Depending on situation.
Okay, so let's talk about the clients, because I'm going to tell you, in my side, everybody's getting the Zoom infos and the list and all that stuff. What is your take on getting these lists and just spamming the heck out of people and stuff like that to try to generate business?
I mean, you got to do what you do in the beginning because you have to earn SEO. Even when I paid for just PPC, guys, like it cost me so much more without organic. When I had organic traffic plus PPC, unfair advantage all day long. Just PPC, everybody can do that. So like that wasn't ultimately the thing. Once I earned all the authority and then put PPC, I don't need any of what you just said. I don't blah blah blah. I don't need to know it because your calendar, you're just going to have all these people searching you because after you do keyword research, like healthcare recruiters was 2,400 searches a month. Staffing agency Las Vegas, 1,500 searches a month. Temp agency Las Vegas, 1,400 searches a month. We're already on page 2 for it. I just haven't pushed it over it until we had a couple extra people on because I want to be able to teach and I want to be able to not be overwhelmed because you can do a lot of things, but if you do all things, you're going to drive yourself nuts. I know I tried. But yeah, in terms of in scrubbing the database and using it, I don't want to use it for straight cold. Like if they've already texted in or if they came in, then yeah, I see outbound calls that way. I feel like if I'm going to cold call someone, I should just be brave enough to be on the other end. Because if they answer, like, do you want to talk to a bot? Like, if they even answer anymore, like I don't either. So that's why for me. But for sourcing, I can see it being huge. I mean, even watching their activity once they know your newsletters, LinkedIn newsletters, guys, huge. We'll get into that too. There's only 32,000 of them on LinkedIn. Do you know a headhunter that isn't on LinkedIn or a recruiter? I mean, either. I mean, if you are, I don't know why you aren't. You're there, but these newsletters aren't being used. They can be used for organic traffic. They can be used for a multitude of things, including growing your list to re-engage those folks so that you, again, are not begging for business. You're able to
So I got to
proactively
ask you
work.
real quick, James. So the newsletter is probably the best thing to use right now on LinkedIn. I mean, everybody's putting out, you want to do all the posts, but the newsletter is like the hidden thing that a lot of people's passing on and should be jumping on it.
Well, yeah, because it's easier just to spam them with a message. I know I have automated tools for that as well, right? But like creating a piece of content that's proactive and thinking about like what's it really going on in the industry, what's my take on it? And again, you have AI. Like you go to Hoppy Copy. I just throw one out there. Hoppy Copy. I mean, that'll literally help you build a newsletter in the next 5 minutes with pictures and everything. So if you're really lazy, you can just use that. But I would advise you like put like a little effort because as you build that out, your list is going to grow pretty quickly, especially if you're like most recruiters, you probably have plenty of LinkedIn connections.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can leverage those in a way. So anyway, those are the types of, we'll dig deeper into those things because there is a reason to use that. LinkedIn newsletters get indexed on Google. So you can backlink from that to your website. There's a bunch of plays we can use to leverage the authority of LinkedIn to get us more visibility quicker. So those will be more things I can dive into later on in our free community as well.
What about referrals for for SEO? What's your take on that? Because I know a lot of people say, you know what, I want all these referrals so I can go up the Google ladder. Is that the
Well,
facts? What?
referrals. I mean, referrals meaning like traffic from third party sites. Is that what you mean?
No referrals where they put comments. Comments on the
Oh, comments.
website.
I mean, those are, I guess, those are spammy. I mean, for a lot of like Google, I don't even bother like I delete all comments on my blog just because a lot of times it's just someone trying to. I don't feel like it's worth it. Maybe it is with AI now.
So you're
I
telling me
think
like
that's what.
you're telling me like the reviews, like every staffing firm wants all these reviews.
Oh, the
What?
reviews. Oh, those are no. I've misunderstood you. Absolutely, reviews are huge because, like, literally, that's part of the Google algorithm for ranking locally. So the more
Gotcha.
that you have reviews coming in there, I thought you meant referrals from like another whole frame. But regardless, but no, absolutely. I mean, reviews are everything. Whether you're getting recommendations on LinkedIn for a recruiter, that's probably a good idea, or just leveraging Google My Business because especially if you're a staffing firm. Because staffing, it becomes a little bit more, not a requirement, but it becomes a little bit more advantageous if you are local. They have a perception that local means, well, you know who I am and our area. So there's that, and maybe that's true. I just know in executive recruitment, it really wasn't as important as maybe it would be for staffing, which is one of the reasons on our website I went ahead and listed all 50 cities because again, I say all 50. These are the top 50 for employment in accordance with, Perplexity and AI and Google search. So these different cities here are all on the site, um, just starting to get some traffic going to them, getting them set up. Right now, not all of them are indexed. Why? Because you need to have enough fuel to get them all seen. What I mean, I just don't have enough authority to the site yet. But I'm going to be, as y'all be knowing about it now, you can watch it. It'll be getting seen more and more every month because I just keep building.
So what's awesome about it? What I'm taking from this, you could be a new staffing firm and maybe say Vegas. You can go all what's going on right here. Pretty much what your applications are and your
Oh
technology.
yeah, yeah. Like there's no I mean, even the keyword difficulty for staffing firms in Las Vegas is very low because most staffing firms aren't doing this inherently. They're not trying to optimize for things. So, and that's fact over here at Ahrefs. This is how I prove all this.
Mm-hmm.
As you look at keywords, for instance, guys, if you don't know, this is just an SEO tool I use to just be able to look up keywords and websites and be able to find some hidden gems that we might not find with the naked eye. So, for instance, like I typed it in this way, Las Vegas staffing agency, and it's 150 searches a month. But I go down here and find out if I typed it in just a bit different, it'd be 1,400. So now I'm looking, I can dig deeper into this and find out that this is still very low in terms of difficulty. Sure, it probably cost me, I don't know, a couple grand to rank for that.
Mm-hmm.
But 1,400 searches a month, even if you get 20% of that traffic, it's 280 people looking for a Las Vegas staffing firm. You think you're not going to get 20 appointments, five?
Heck yeah.
I mean, just the law of large numbers will tell you that's going to happen. And no, that's basically what we do. We'll end up going in here doing keyword research and optimizing our pages naturally for the highest search volume. And that's exactly how this whole site is built. If you click on any of these, all this is AI content too, by the way, because I wanted to test it, and it's all AI content. So yeah, we're going to clean it up. We are going to clean it up. I just wanted to test to see what I could break, and I couldn't break it, and it just keeps ranking for more and more stuff. It just needs more power. So this is just part of it. And this is just like again, these are just different AI tools that I use to produce this content. I had one video where I showed how we built a 50-page website in 45 minutes with
Okay, time
literally
out.
from
45 minutes? Really?
yeah, we can do it next time if you like. But I had a video where you literally you go to 10 Web. I just told them what kind of website I was building, gave me a basic framework. I went over to this
Yeah.
other website, built 50 articles within like 10 minutes using AI, just because it's the way that tool's set up. It interlinks them and everything, shoved it on the blog, and 50 pages. So the point I'm saying that, guys, is a lot of you guys aren't even having decent sites. Like you can just go to 10web.com and for cheap you can like use their AI to build. That's what And now we're going to change some images, but this right here, our current website, took me 5 minutes to build. Now it's not 100% correct, but
Look at that.
I mean, it's if you read the copy, it's like it is what I'm doing. I got some things I got to
Yeah.
fix. These are all fake, obviously, XYZ, but these are like what AI is able to build you pretty quickly. But once you understand how to build this and then add your content plus the authority, AI is, I mean, it's pretty simple. I learned this acronym a while back called, we call it UMAC. It's from a guy named Fletch that I learned from a while back. And UMAC just
Fletch.
means like Fletch. Yeah, Fletch. He, good dude. Haven't talked to him in a long time, but regardless, give credit where it's due. It's one of the most valuable lessons of SEO I really ever learned was he basically used that acronym UMAC as a way of helping you figure out the most important places for a keyword to be and how to make sure you don't over optimize, right? So UMAC basically stood for URL, U was URL, metadata.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your title. That's what you're seeing in Google, your meta description. Your anchors, which are usually like the different ways you're going to be referred to off another third party website. And then, of course, the content. Google is trying to tell you this like 200 and some different ranking factors, but I've only basically used those four things as my basic guiding principles of if it already has the keyword in the URL, it already has the keyword in the titles, I can use generic to anchors. I can de-optimize my content. You don't want to be over optimized. That'll trigger algorithm penalties. It's almost better to be under optimized. So, we'd look at that and just watch how it fluctuates. But again, we use these types of tools like I was showing you earlier with Ahrefs is one of those tools is how we monitor those things so that we can see what the actual traffic is happening and if it's even worth it. This keyword are very much worth going after. This word alone will probably give more than enough more than enough business for one agency in Las Vegas.
You know what's
Now,
amazing, James, real quick?
what's
I got to
that?
tell you, man, the staffing firms I've worked for in the past in the last 10 years has done none of this stuff. I mean, I'm going to tell you straight up. It's like, I mean, I can see this right now and especially in the staffing industry. This is a game changer. I mean, even the recent
Yeah,
one
I
I just
mean,
Tony with has nothing like this. I mean, this is robust and man, it's going to take you to the next level. I mean,
well, and the reason and I will tell you the reason is because like it's a long-term play for authority, so and it isn't cheap. Like again, I'm not trying to like promote that, but the fact is you have to get on these sites. These sites can cost anywhere from $50 to $2,000. I mean, even Forbes costs $7,000 to get on at times, and that's just so 7,000 for a single link can potentially. I mean, but we typically are around 3 to 5. Just depends on, we know how to find different ones and whatnot. But like again, that's per vote per link. So every time we get a vote, it's going to cost $300 to $500 more, roughly. And of course, that's where it gets expensive, or it can add up. But when the scales tip over and the authority of your site tip over, and when you're seeing sites like this with like low competition, um,
I mean, I got to tell
here's
you, man,
another one.
The ROI in this, I mean, you spend the money, you're going to make the money on the back end for sure.
Well, and it's easy. Look at that. So engineering jobs near me, easy, 3,600 searches a month. Now that again, I was talking more on the client getting side versus the candidate. But if you go to this key search and figure out who's on Google, it's going to be Indeed. That's why everybody's paying them. Everybody's paying Indeed because they knew to rank for this and no one else is. It's really bizarre, and I can't even explain it because it seems kind of like.
So correct me or not, this is like competing against Indeed a little bit. Like you're battling out to see who can outdo
Well, especially if you have your own ATS on your site, because now you
Yeah.
can rank for engineering jobs near me as an employer and or a staffing or a recruiting agency. You can rank for that, and now even if all you're doing is snagging a half a dozen fish instead of having to pay Indeed, isn't that potentially better? And
Hell yeah.
and you're growing your own employment brand versus growing Indeed's brand. So they don't probably need much more help, but I know my brand needs some help, right? And so like, why not grow my own brand by increasing my employment branding? And most employers aren't even like the marketing companies Like I was in a room full of SEOs, literally, and they're like, "Oh my, I have a client that's going to, cut my fees because they can't recruit people fast enough." And I was like, "So get them more traffic to the recruiting offer,
Yeah.
and then double your fee. Don't get it cut in half. Double that baby. Make them be more worth a lot more." And so that's kind of like how this all kind of come about. But there's a huge opportunity. Pick an industry, pick a keyword. We can do this for hours and days because I don't care what niche. Plumbers, electricians, doctors, nurse practitioners, mental health. It doesn't matter. This is what you're going to find. Very easy. You have to have a strategy though. It's not like, oh, I'm going to put a PS bulk. You have to care. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Care enough about the niche to write some decent stuff so that we can get a couple votes so that we can get this wouldn't be nothing to rank for that. It's 3,600 people coming to your site that know about engineering jobs. And that's just in the United States. If we go globally, as you see here, it goes up. But this is just US based stuff. Here, this is global here. So and this is the same for I did a shocked with welding jobs. I found out that's 40,500. And that's just one little small niche inside of a construction trades or whatever. And no one's looking at it. And the only two companies, ZipRecruiter and Indeed. So anyway, but yeah, and if the free group, I got it. If you want, where do you want me to put that, Shark? How do you want me to share that?
You can share it on your screen right now, can't you? Yeah, that'd
Okay,
be
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you just go to the portal .builddon'tbeg.com, you can just sign up for our free community. I'm going to start dropping some content in there, some different ways to optimizing your pages. If you're interested in learning, there's going to be ways that you can do that. Uh, the tools, I'll recommend some different tools and things of that nature. And certainly if you need consulting, you don't want to learn it, you just want to just get the stuff, we can certainly help you there too. But if you are interested in learning it, you can join our community, and there's going to be more to follow with just overall how we're building it. I want to literally just pull back the curtain and build engage hunters in front of everybody that's in there, and just keep getting more traffic and just calling the shots every week and build on top of it. So.
Dude, man, this is incredible stuff here. So if any of my staffing peeps are out there and friends and they come to you, you can pretty much analyze their website right off the bat and tell them, configure a little bit what's going on and tweak it, man, to make it a hot rod.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't promise all of them are going to be hot rods. Some of them might need an overhaul. Some of them, but ultimately, I definitely can look at it and like show you like where we can go from here. Like especially look at the age of it. Look at should you just get a whole new domain, where it was, where it has been, what it could be, and know with data, not feelings, and like know that look, there's 3,600 people. This may not be your keyword. Maybe it's like I said, healthcare recruiters. How about healthcare executive recruiters?
Dude, you
That's a
can do
pretty
this
tick.
all day, man.
Yeah, look now that's more competitive because there's going to be more money there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's an obvious one. But there's plenty of them that are. If we scroll down here and look around, we'll find some low hanging fruit. I promise. Executives, we will find low hanging fruit, which just allows us to get more people coming to our site for those terms, and that's what we build content around. So yeah, I can look at anybody's site. We can help them learn it. Join the free group. Learn more about us. If you're interested in just me looking over your site, just go over to builddon'tbeg.com, and look us up there. And I'll put some things on the post here for the joining the group if they choose to. Yeah. Anything else, Shark?
No, brother. Is the group up yet or no?
Yeah. It's let me just put that link. Let me just
if you can put that link up there, brother. I mean,
it's right here. It's
right now. I got to tell everybody out there, man. This is so much stuff. James has come back all summer long to educate us and make us all.
So it's right now. It's a free. You can see it right now. No.
Let me see.
I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, so right now that's what it is. But if you go to portal.builddon'tbeg, you'll get a sign up link, and then you can just join here. This is again go high level, guys. I'm not trying to hide that. I did white label it as Proactive CRM, and I'm using it here. So it can be cloned. You can use it. That's how I learned all this. We shared snaps so that we all shared our automated systems, and so yeah, I'm just here to learn and help others with what I know.
Brother, I love you. Hey, thank you so much, man. You're going to be on up in another couple of weeks. I know we're going to get Brian on here to talk about the human connection, man, and how how you can build a human team together, man, with all the analytics and stuff. But brother,
Heck
man,
yeah.
this is so much information. I know our first summer of school for the year, man. Whew. I got to say right
Yep.
now, class is over for today. Go out there and enjoy the sun, guys and girls.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Take care, man. That's a wrap.
Yep.
We'll see you soon.